Tzu Chi team of volunteers in New York resumed free clinic services for the community. In Taiwan, Tzu Chi volunteers are delivering laptops to underprivileged students to enable better learning. Welcome to Diet Headlines. I'm Joyce Ho. Thank you for joining us. Since the COVID-19 outbreak in March last year, TEMA members from Long Island, New York were finally able to resume their regular free clinic services on August the 8th, taking care of vulnerable Hispanic families.
Tzu Chi resumed free clinic services at Long Island, which has been suspended for a whole year and a half.
今年2021年的目标呢，就是说把这个
Our goal this year is to resume the free clinics. We don't have to hold large-scale free clinics. Smaller free clinics is enough. By doing this, there will be no safety concerns.
I love Tzu Chi. Tzu Chi is a good organization. They helped my hospital. They donated to my hospital, so I got to donate back to Tzu Chi.
Podiatry, ophthalmology, internal medicine, dentistry, and Chinese medicine doctors gathered at the scene. There are also Hispanic volunteers helping with translations. Sitting on a wheelchair, Nancy Tuana was also a volunteer last year before an amputation.
I'm thankful to Tzu Chi for continuously helping people in need. After my car accident, Tzu Chi has been providing me motivation and happiness.
Under the rain, Tzu Chi volunteers distribute supplies, helping more people in need.
As the forest fire in Dixie, California continued to threaten the community, Tzu Chi volunteers from the Northern California chapter went to Quincy to host an outdoor drive-through distribution to provide gas cards and blankets to 122 affected households.
The affected residents were staying either in cars or tents next to the church. Such a hardship was attributed to the Dixie forest fire.
Just name, address, phone number, that's all.
The simplified form was to shorten the application process. This outdoor drive-through distribution involved 122 cars, which represented 122 affected families. On average, it took 2 minutes for a car to complete the application and receive the supplies.
I'm really thankful that you guys have this stuff. I was on my way to go deliver gas for people's generators. Thank the volunteers out here helping everybody in our community.
The forest fire has yet to stop, so the volunteers first sent timely assistance to the affected residents, easing their uneasy mind.
Following a tornado sweeping through Chicago at the end of June, Tzu Chi volunteers provided relief aid to the affected families. Illinois Congressman Bill Foster encountered Tzu Chi for the first time during the relief and had to visit the Tzu Chi office to learn more about Tzu Chi.
Wearing a special Chinese-style tie, Congressman Bill Foster made a special trip to visit Tzu Chi and said it was an unforgettable experience encountering Tzu Chi members in the aftermath of the tornado.
It was where you were providing relief and help to some of the families who lost their homes or just were in a bad situation. And I said, okay, this is a good group. I want to get to know them better. So
2 cents worth of money.
The bamboo coin bank era was illustrated through photos in the corridor showing the footprints of Chicago Tzu Chi volunteers who have been deeply involved in the community. Visitors learned that Tzu Chi is not only active in emergency relief, but also assistance helping immigrants through charity and education.
The organization is so wonderful, you should advertise more. And I understand that's probably not at the core of the Buddhist philosophy to advertise and to self-promote, but you do wonderful things.
This disaster also presented an opportunity for cooperation as volunteers also invited Bill to visit Taiwan to learn about the roots of the organization. He looked forward to this opportunity and many more chances to serve the community together in the future.
Tzu Chi volunteers from the Columbus Liaison Office in Ohio held a children's summer camp in the nature for the children to learn how to respect Mother Earth and live in harmony. Meanwhile, the camp in California held for teens by San Francisco Tzu Chi volunteers was aimed at self-management and cooperation with others.
The Tzu Chi summer camp for Bayview Hunters Point is aimed at 13 to 22-year-olds, helping these youth warriors find themselves and live in harmony with the world.
Witness kids from different ethnic backgrounds who normally would not come together, hold hands, give each other hugs, develop new friendships, and express kindness in ways that have just surprised all of us.
Among the students, 3 of the participants have been familiar with Tzu Chi since they were in kindergarten, as Tzu Chi has cared for them for the past 12 years.
And today, learning about how your perspective on giving and receiving and participating in that type of relationship and how it affects other people, like I really like that, and trying to analyze and dissect my own relationship with giving to people and receiving. So yeah, I really enjoy this program.
I really like this summer program from Tzu Chi because it taught me multiple things that I can use in the everyday life. Like when I was doing the cooking, it taught me how I can use impossible burger meat to use it as an everyday thing and make certain stuff. Like the day we made tacos, that was important to me because it showed that I can use that type of meat and make it taste like regular meat.
This summer camp is perfect for the older students to prepare for their entry into society. Meanwhile, in Columbus, Ohio, Tzu Chi's children's courses have been held online all year. Now that they can finally have an in-person class, the children are loving the interaction outdoors with nature. Classes vary from a hike in the forest to handcrafts to gardening or even enjoying yoga out in the grass. The students thoroughly enjoyed this outdoor time as they have been staying at home for way too long.
After the stay-at-home order has been lifted, Tzu Chi Academy in Irvine, California opened 2 summer classes, each with a total of 12 sessions for physical attendance. The course integrated Chinese classes with culture learning, including paper making, shuttlecock kicking, and self-made puppet shows.
Children who grew up in the United States experience traditional handcrafts, that is, to make paper.
In cultural courses, students do things they have never done before. Only when you really make paper by yourself do you know how this paper came from. So we let the students make paper by themselves. We use recycled paper in paper-making process. They can design a paper shape or write some words on paper to make cards.
Children stay away from the virtual world, but complete children's play from their own hands, which is a real fun.
We make shuttlecocks, teach them how to kick shuttlecocks, and do puppet shows to let them know that this is Chinese culture. I think the children had a very happy time in this 6-week course.
The children strengthened their Chinese learning during the summer vacation. They were reluctant at the beginning and gradually enjoyed the sweetness in the end.
The children felt a little reluctant at first, but gradually they all liked the courses and enjoyed it. And they will greet the teacher good morning. When it's nap time, they will help move the table and chairs. So children are making progress.
Returning to physical classes from online, summer classes become an adaptation period for parents, teachers, and students preparing for the next semester.
In Taiwan, schools are about to start in September. Tzu Chi volunteers have been distributing laptops to underprivileged students. In the past, these children had to complete homework on mobile phones or borrow computers from their classmates. With the arrival of the brand new laptops, they can better pursue an education.
In the simple home, she has displayed her certificates and trophies. Since high school student Sun has become interested in hairstyling and beauty industry, she has worked hard in college and won championship in national beauty design contests.
Yes, I did this report using a mobile phone. It took me a long time that my father kept asking me what I was doing with the mobile phone. In fact, I was doing my homework. Sometimes I worked till midnight. If I have a laptop, I can quickly complete the homework and even do it with my classmates.
Mrs. Sun has cut out the logo of a vegetarian care package given by Tzu Chi and made a unique coin bank.
I am moved that Tzu Chi has cared for us for more than 10 years. I thought of cutting out the Tzu Chi logo and save up money to help other people.
A family of 6 live behind a car salon. Using a computer has been difficult for the 4 children.
There is only one computer at home. When they need to search for information, they need to take turns to use it.
When the teacher asked us to bring our laptops to school, I would feel a bit sad that other people have laptops. Now I have a laptop. I feel quite happy. I no longer need to ask my classmates for help.
In Taipei Zhongshan District, Tzu Chi volunteers have been supporting 2 brothers and their schooling. With the upcoming semester, the brothers really needed an extra computer for better learning. Upon noticing the need, volunteers bought in a second computer and met the family at Xingshen Park for an outing.
Wow, you are taller now. You were so small before, but now you are taller than your mother.
Meeting at a park, and 2 volunteers' surprise, Miss Lin is very unfamiliar with the environment. Under an arrangement, volunteers brought in a second laptop for the brothers, as they no longer have to take turns using just one device.
They are very happy. There's 2 computers for them to use. They don't have to use phones anymore, since sometimes they can't hear or write during class. This is very convenient in helping them study.
As the computers come equipped with a Jingsi aphorism wallpaper, and along with sincere reminders from volunteers, the 2 brothers are ready to move on to the next step in their life.
Tzu Chi Foundation is working with Kaohsiung City Council in Taiwan to deliver relief packages to disadvantaged students at schools. Despite the challenging weather conditions, the volunteers were able to complete their mission. Let's take a look.
The school hall is full of care packages which come with people's best wishes.
这笔也是保特瓶，跟这个夹子都是保特瓶做的，这都是非常环保的物资啊。
Tzu Chi has worked with Kaohsiung City government to provide supplies to disadvantaged students. During delivery process, it started to rain. As the recycling truck cannot protect the supplies from rain, volunteers have used their cars for delivery.
不行啊，这样太重了。
The volunteers are careful because the supplies are like gifts. However, volunteers work hard as they move the 50-kilogram rice. 3 volunteers work together to move 1 bag of rice.
他跟5间学校
We've contacted the 5 schools, so our delivery is very smooth.
这次送这物资非常的顺利。
I respect them very much. Tzu Chi volunteers have the foresight and they help society to connect people.
On the day before, the school has informed the parents to come receive the supplies at the school.
This Jingsi aphorisms is very practical for both children and adults. You have one at home. That is great.
Volunteers' best wishes comfort the families that have been impacted by the pandemic.
I cannot work. His mother works odd jobs. I'm very grateful. I hope that when I grow up, I can also help people.
Tzu Chi volunteers not only provide food, they also planted seeds of kindness in the minds of the students.
Tzu Chi Philippines chapter has been working together with the Federation of Filipino Chinese Chambers of Commerce and Industry to provide vaccination services since July. For the past 4 weeks, more than 10,000 has been vaccinated. Many medical personnel and staff from the Federation were very impressed with Tzu Chi Volunteers' organization.
Residents who want to get vaccinated line up to enter the venue. For the past 4 weeks, more than 10,000 people have been vaccinated here. On the last day, the number of residents have doubled. Despite the rain, they still line up orderly.
There are a lot of people. In the morning it was hot, but it did not rain. It rained in the afternoon. Fortunately, the residents have sat in places with covers.
More than 1,000 volunteers have been mobilized. Many people conserve during their days off.
In fact, today is my day off. However, I told myself my day off can be a day for cultivation.
Compared to other medical clinics, volunteers also provide love and care here. FFCCII members say they cannot forget the delicious vegetarian food here.
They welcome us. We can come and eat your buns. The buns without meat are really delicious. We should praise you as you did a good job.
The medical volunteers have felt a serene atmosphere of the religious ground.
I'd also like to acknowledge our medical staff who worked tirelessly and accommodated all the concerns of our vaccinees.
Somehow, we've done a terrific job. So I'd like to congratulate everyone.
City volunteers have carried out their mission to help residents get vaccinated, forming good affinities with everyone.
Vaccines can effectively prevent the dissemination of viruses and assist in the global battle against COVID-19. However, the vaccine preservation process must be handled delicately to ensure its quality and protection for people's health and safety.
As police cars clear the roads, vaccines are being brought to the vaccination station.
Firstly, I will prepare our orders, like a purchasing order, and after we hand it to a pharmacist, we will check if the vaccine count is correct.
Kuala Lumpur Jing Sihal is now a vaccination station providing Sinovac COVID-19 vaccines. There are also dedicated freezers to store vaccines.
Sinovac COVID-19 vaccine is easier to process. It can be preserved at temperature around 2 to 8 degrees Celsius. If it's a new vaccine, the mRNA ones like Pfizer or Moderna, these vaccines must be stored under negative 20 degrees Celsius. Sinovac made claims that under normal temperature, the vaccine can remain in effect in a 2-week period. This is mainly if the lid is shut. If the lid is open, the vaccine must be used under 12 hours.
This is multi-dose, and it is about 2 doses. Every time we can provide 0.5 ml per dose, and that's about 1 ml in this bottle. It also has to be kept around 2 to 8 degrees Celsius.
Normally, after we take the vaccine, we will transport it to the vaccination room. Every hour we will go in to check if the temperature is around 2 to 8 degrees Celsius.
Seriously treating every process of preserving vaccines, volunteers made sure citizens receive vaccinations properly to control the pandemic.
Kaohsiung Station is an 80-year-old historic building. 19 years ago, it was moved due to the railway's underground transformation. It is currently now on its way home as many are witnessing the transformation of Kaohsiung and the record for the largest historic building moved in Taiwan.
Workers constantly shuttle around the old Kaohsiung train station. The body is a traditional imperial design as the building is moving upwards inch by inch. The station has been lifted more than 3 meters and moved 4.8 meters to the north. It's only the first step in the restoration of this old station.
Next, the Imperial Crown-style station will move 57.86 meters westward. When it comes to this location, it will directly face Zhongshan Road in Kaohsiung City.
The 80-year-old Imperial Crown-style station was relocated 19 years ago due to an underground railway project. Now it is on its way home step by step, but the move back is slightly different from the original trip. Originally, it was a direct pan, But when resetting, the station body was first raised 3.94 meters and then panned, and after positioning, a shock isolation device had to be added.
In order to meet the 200-year flood control elevation requirements, the elevation of the entire station needs to be elevated by 3.94 meters. This makes the seismic requirements even higher, so we installed a partition under the unit. There are a total of 38 vibration devices.
The old station weighs 2,500 tons and has been relocated and reset 19 years later. The project is expected to complete its move into a permanent position in January next year, creating yet another new landmark to showcase the culture of Kaohsiung.
The currently ongoing relocation of Kaohsiung Station is an enormous project. A Taiwan Railways engineer who participated in the project 19 years ago was deeply impressed by the high construction standards carried out by the Japanese company. 19 years after, Taiwan's construction professionals are undertaking this exquisite task.
The engineers had to rush to work while there was no rain because the rain had continued to fall for several days, and the foundation of the old station had accumulated water that was now 2 meters deep. Fortunately, they were well prepared. The wet construction site increases the difficulty of their work.
The weather is hot and humid. It's a challenge to regulate body temperature regulation, so we don't have to heat stroke.
Migration of historical buildings is different from general construction work in that its accuracy cannot exceed 2 millimeters.
During the lifting process, the height of the jack must be controlled by computer. The error is controlled within 2 millimeters.
For huge buildings, each base has to be raised in parallel. Then the building is moved on steel rods. Sometimes it only moves 50 centimeters a day. This is because the most important thing is not to damage the body of the building. Making sure water in the cup does not overflow is a standard for stability. The construction quality must keep up with the Japanese company who moved the station 19 years ago.
One impression is that Japanese construction companies have a good management of work shifts and safety requirements. Everything was in place.
19 years ago, Zhang Weishun participated in this move and is now involved in the resetting project carried out by Taiwanese contractors who have experienced the challenge of the pandemic and heavy rain.
Of course, there's a sense of honor and mission as we are now part of history.
Everything is very important, so every day is actually a challenge.
The old station is being reset, and the construction method is something developed in Taiwan, as all staff have a sense of honor to work on this historic project.
A mobile supermarket visits the rural village Chongmen in Hualien, Taiwan, making grocery shopping at ease for the villagers. Thank you for joining us and see you next time.